Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your July 2023 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Oh my gosh, I keep getting this card, people. Well, this should be very um, harmonious energy with Cancer, the sun sign, for the first 3 weeks of the month. So that can be like very romantic for Pisces individuals because this is going to fall in your fifth house. You're going to have Venus retrograding in your sixth house of work. And the significance of that is that there could be like a salary dispute, or even on an internal level, you could be thinking about what you do for a living and whether it's really aligned with your values. For some Pisces people, that could definitely be a theme. And here we have more twos. I got that in the last reading too, which by the way, I did for Virgo. So that's your opposite sign. Oh, and okay, I'm going to have to show you. Look, a fish pendant. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Two of Pentacles. This is a card of perhaps having to make a decision about which direction to go in terms of the work that you're doing. Maybe you're thinking of switching over into a different type of work. And, it's interesting. I notice, I don't know if that's supposed to be the sun or the moon, but that's one of the options. And when I think of we could even say like sun and moon, the sun representing more of that masculine energy. With moon types of professions, for instance, we could say healing, artistic, and then with the sun, things that are more associated with the outer world and the ambitions of the outer world. And you may be, I wouldn't say struggling with it, but kind of weighing your options. It can even be working two jobs, and then feeling kind of harried, like you're constantly balancing things. Sometimes it can be a job offer overseas that you're weighing the option. As a matter of fact, the Two of Wands shows a globe, so it can be like relocating somewhere far away or contemplating doing so. But what could be the thing that makes a person go, wait, I don't know if I want to do this, is, oh wow, this is so far away. This is like, how can I do this? In the past position, we have the Seven of Wands. I really like this depiction of the Seven of Wands. They have this woman kind of meditating in her pink bubble. And the number 7 is a number of meditation and contemplation and solitude. And really, this card, if you see the Rider-Waite depiction, it shows somebody in a defensive posture. So this is more of a positive version of that, where the person is protecting themselves by spiritually, it's like spiritual armor. But, there's a similar type of, we could say, interpretation of self-defense. Now, if somebody feels like they are in that mode, it could be because they're in a workplace situation where they're being constantly criticized, for instance, and they don't feel honored, they don't feel respected. So it doesn't feel good to go into work every morning. If it's a relationship, maybe the Two of Pentacles is, should I stay here or go? Like, but maybe money is factoring into things. Can I support myself? The higher message is the Six of Wands. You see the woman in the spotlight. This card is connected to Leo, and wands are connected to fire energy, and you see that torch or whatever you'd call that. And the laurel wreath, I think that is, it's just this idea of, winning. But this is also taking your bow and receiving accolades. Now, we think of Leo as this person who loves attention and loves compliments. And Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is our aspirational self. So when your sun is in Pisces, you aspire to um, express those qualities of Pisces to the world in your own unique way. And the reason that that's important is because when you are authentic, nobody else can replicate that. And you will be appreciated for you, not for copying somebody else. So there's like this unique self-expression that we associate, with artistic things in particular. That's why she's on stage or performance. But it can be in any area of life. You could be selling insurance and, be like the Six of Wands. But this is a higher message, which means that you are deserving of this, Pisces. This is the spiritual message to learn, is that you shouldn't have to. There's nothing wrong with somebody who is your boss criticizing you in a humane way, like saying, I need you to do this, you did that. But when it's just constant criticism and when you're not being appreciated, that means that that person doesn't get you, doesn't, I was going to say appreciate again, but doesn't value you. And maybe they don't value themselves. So it's not a reflection on you, but you still have to deal with the effects of that. And that same thing goes with a relationship. What crosses you is the Two of Wands. You may be putting off making a decision based on the wands, like I said, have to do with fire. So it has to do with the individual versus being concerned about others. And some people think that that's being self-absorbed, and it's not. It means that we take ourselves into account. Sometimes we focus on ourselves because we need to really get a handle on what we're comfortable with. And if that means that we are not listening to other input, if we are not being manipulated by other people who say that if we, let's say, you're really thinking of moving to a different continent and you tell other people, let's say you tell your family about this, and they say, oh my God, I'll miss you so much, oh, don't do this, if you the typical impulse for Pisces is to like sacrifice their own desires for somebody else's comfort level. And this may be a time when you really need to focus on yourself. And yet you are still in that mode of thinking about other people. What's coming in is the Six of Cups. This is a card that's connected to Cancer and Cancerian things, which is the fourth house. Children, as you can see, well, your family, but your childhood. And the reason I think this is really important is because there are things that I believe, this may not be true 100% of the time, but I think it's true a lot of times. When people say, sorry about the train, I have the windows open. When people say that they don't know what they want to do, a lot of times I feel it's because they're not tapping into what was their joy, their passion growing up. And because somebody may have convinced them that that was just childish, that was, something to put on the shelf. And yet it never really went away. It was always in the backdrop. And an example of this is being an artist. I think that's a big one because that's the one where people say, oh, that's impractical. You'll never make a living from it, blah, blah, blah. And yet it can just be sitting there waiting for the person to come back to it. Now, Another thing that this card could be is a timing card. The Cancer new moon is in the month of July. It's July 17th, if I'm not mistaken. So keep an eye on that time. That's actually going to be in your fifth house, and that is the house of love and creativity. As a matter of fact, the Six of Cups can be a soulmate card. So this could be something if you're like kind of like not sure about maybe a current relationship, and you're weighing your options. Just keep that in mind. The outcome is the King of Cups. Apparently, I don't know this 100, for sure, but it's associated with your sign. But it's mastery, self-mastery of your emotions at the highest level and your intuition. You notice his crown is like levitating, floating on top of his head, which is the crown chakra. And maybe that's what they're trying to imply, is that we have this wisdom that emanates from the top of the head. And we can make these decisions coming from the highest level, not coming from the fear-based, mundane perspective. Being in the heart center as well. So I really like this reading overall for you, Pisces. I hope you have a great month. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.